Almost everyone wants to be beautiful. And that's fair because most of us want to feel worthy, to be accepted by others and liked by others. And it feels like the easiest way to do this is to change our physical appearance in hopes that other people will like us better. While we do live in a world that tends to perceive first with the eyes, and while statistics do say that beautiful people do have certain privileges, it is also true that the most beautiful people in the world, including the most beautiful celebrities, also suffer from body dysmorphia, from anxiety, and from low self-esteem. Which pretty much means that being beautiful does not necessarily mean that a person feels beautiful. When I was younger, I followed the conventional look of beauty. I really cared about my appearance, so I would constantly dye and iron my hair, wear lots of makeup to go even to the supermarket. I would make sure that every single picture that I took was perfect, and I just needed to look perfect all the time in my mind. But no matter how I looked, deep inside, I did not feel beautiful. And this led me to realize that no matter how hard I tried to fix myself, if I did not fix my mind, I was never gonna feel beautiful no matter how I looked. After a long journey of self-discovery that I'm still on today, I can tell you that I finally feel the most beautiful that I've felt in my life. And you may notice that it's not because I am keeping up with today's standards of beauty, but because I accept who I am. I love who I am, and I nourish myself every single day. I am now really aware of the damage that is caused when I compare myself to others and realize that that is not a necessary choice anyway. And of course, I'm not going to tell you that I feel beautiful every single day, but on the days where I don't feel beautiful, I know it's not about my physical appearance, but about my mind. And it is because my mind is uncontrolled, driven by ego, and lacking peace. So with that said, I truly believe that feeling beautiful starts from within. And I think that that can affect our physical appearance as well. Have you ever been around a person that is not necessarily the most conventionally attractive, but something about them makes them completely beautiful? And it doesn't necessarily have to do with their physical appearance, but it's the way that they move, the way that they are, the way that they speak and make you feel. This happens because when we feel beautiful inside, we act and think and speak from this place. And naturally, we give ourselves love and the people around us too. So if you're someone that's seeking to feel and to look more beautiful, I invite you to stay with me on this video as I share with you some of the practices that have helped me change that sense of beauty that starts from within. In order to feel beautiful, it is necessary that we first accept ourselves. Acceptance really is the process of taking ourselves out of the competitive field because it is an illusion that has never existed. Because we really understand that we are in competition with no one because we just are who we are. And from this place, we don't have anyone to compare ourselves to, which allows us to appreciate our own unique beauty as we stand unopposed. We no longer criticize ourselves, so our mind becomes a safe refuge that allows us to glow both on the inside and the outside. Accepting ourselves also means that we know ourselves and we understand who we are. We know our deepest flaws, our thoughts and emotions, but we also know the lightest parts of our being, our skills, and our strengths. And even though we choose to honor ourselves by growing, learning, and evolving, we also understand that we need to love ourselves unconditionally in this present moment because this is the only version of ourselves that exists. And because the present moment is all there is, the present version of ourselves deserves to feel completely loved, completely accepted, and completely whole as we are. Accepting ourselves means that we're not diminishing or trying to hide any parts of ourselves, which makes us feel confident and at peace with who we are. And that peace really creates a harmony that is reflected in our face and in our body. If you want to practice self-acceptance, I encourage you to start by using affirmations. So for this practice, what you're gonna do is grab a journal and write down all of your insecurities. You're gonna write down all of the parts of yourself that are sometimes not easy to look at. And what we're doing is calling everything out so that we can see what we carry inside. We really want to notice all of those words that we have been telling ourselves for years that cannot coexist with a positive self-esteem. And once we have a list, we're going to flip it with the most empowering words that mean something to us. For example, many people say that they cringe when they hear their voice, and what they're really saying is that they hate their voice, that they don't accept it. So you would say something like, I love my voice. My voice is a gift that allows me to communicate and share experiences with others. My voice is powerful and needed in this world, and it allows me to be heard. And I am proud of my voice because it allows me to speak my truth. So you just really have to think of something that means something to you so that you can actually rewire the way that you feel about that insecurity. And the more that you practice this daily, the more improvements you will see in your self-esteem. I recently made a video on how to be more confident in case you're interested in this topic. But confidence really is what happens when we love ourselves, when we accept ourselves, and when we treat ourselves with honor and respect, both physically and mentally. To be confident is not to be prideful, but to be grounded in our energy and in our being. And by being, I mean in our voice, in our body, in our ability to speak and live our truth. It is knowing that we are whole right now and that we're no more and no less than anybody else. It means that we know that we are equal to everyone else and therefore worthy of dignity, of respect, and of love. Confidence really has a profound effect on the way that we feel and the way that other people perceive us. Because when we are confident, we carry ourselves with a sense of assurance that other people can also feel. And again, this is not about trying to be better than anyone else, but about embodying our true selves without apology. Confidence really shows in the way that we talk, in the way that we walk, in the way that we carry ourselves. It is a powerful, energetic shift that happens within us and enhances our natural beauty. To be confident requires that we ground ourselves in our light, in our potential and what some people call the higher self. So if you don't know your higher self, I invite you to grab a journal and ask yourself the following questions. What are the most beautiful aspects of yourself? The most beautiful emotions that you carry in your heart? The most beautiful acts of kindness that you're capable of doing? The love, altruism, and compassion that you carry inside? This higher version of ourselves exists within you and within me. And every thought, every action, and every word that we choose either connects us closer to that version of ourselves or pulls us back away from it. So get to know that highest version that lives within you, because that potential is inside of you, just waiting for you to choose it. The way that we treat ourselves really matters. And that has the potential to make us look more or less beautiful. While I do think that self-love is an internal journey that arises when we get to know ourselves and when we accept ourselves, we can try to incorporate certain practices in our lives so that we can begin to love ourselves slowly. And the best way to start is to make self-love a lifestyle. Loving yourself means that you give yourself your undivided attention when you need to. It means that you start your day talking to yourself with kindness and compassion, even if you're running late. That you brush your hair with presence, that you brush your teeth with mindfulness, that you are all there when you're eating your food and you treat that moment like a ritual. It means that you give your best, even when you're working on a serious project or washing the dishes, because you honor your energy and you know your potential. And believe it or not, when you value yourself and you love yourself, your physical beauty starts to enhance. The love and care that we give ourselves is reflected in our appearance because we are telling ourselves that we matter. And that creates a nice cycle where the more that we love and care for ourselves, the more beautiful that we feel. And because we feel beautiful, we care for ourselves, which makes us more beautiful. To work on making self-love a habit, I encourage you to practice having a very mindful day with yourself. And what you'll do is that you will do everything with intention. You can set an alarm every hour so that you can remember to come back to this intention throughout the day. And at the end of the day, what you're going to do is journal about how this experience made you feel and how it affected your self-perception. The beautiful thing is that you can practice this daily. And the more mindful, intentional, and caring that you are with yourself, the more that it will become a second nature to act from this space. Finally, I want to share with you the profound beauty that comes from being authentic. Loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, and feeling confident allows us to be ourselves without having to pretend to be someone that we're not. Being real as a human being is one of the best qualities that a person can have. Because we're not operating on external validation, we are not being dishonest or hiding who we are. We are being vulnerable and sharing our light with the world and our best gifts because we know that we are enough as we are. Authenticity means that you wear what you really want to wear. You also embrace your features because they make you unique. We embrace our weirdness and what makes us different from others. And from this place, we can pave new trends and actually lead ways for other people to feel comfortable in their uniqueness too. Because authenticity means that we're happy with ourselves. And what is more beautiful than a person that is happy? Being honest with who we are gives us inner peace. And this peace really allows us to have deep connections with others. And that really enhances our beauty in every interaction that we have. A simple practice of authenticity that you can incorporate in your days is to constantly ask yourself if the choices that you're making are actually in alignment with you, or if you're making them based on external validation or fear or whatever other reason is keeping you from being yourself. Again, I encourage you to keep a journal with you and write down why it is that you feel the need to hide a part of you. Because with small, consistent steps, you can start liberating yourself in places where you feel like you're not completely free to be yourself. I personally do like to feel and look beautiful. But what is the point of searching for physical beauty if I can't enjoy it? This isn't to say that you can't follow trends or express your physical self in ways that make you happy. But when you prioritize your inner beauty, you will naturally glow and become more beautiful on the outside too, at least to yourself and the people who have real eyes to see beauty. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your time with me today. I hope to see you again very soon.